Hey everyone, welcome to Breakout Wednesday. It is Thursday, the 14th of November 2024. It's currently 10 p.m. on the West Coast, 1 a.m. on the East Coast. First of all, remember this is never financial advice, I'm a financial advisor. Everyone needs to take responsibility for their own decisions. Now, for Frankie, go up to the top left-hand corner, click that. We now have log and standard charts. If you don't know what that means, for anyone listening, just Google it, okay? It's Google's your friend. Now, NASDAQ is super strong. That Trump win really lit a fire under its ass. Crypto tech stocks, high growth stocks in the NASDAQ are just flying. The All Wars is lagging, but there's still some very good trades happening and some really shit trades happening. Let's just quickly rattle through some of the good, some of the trades I've been talking about lately, the good and the bad. Car, this was just classic. I've talked about it for weeks and weeks on end here, and also in the forum. Big base here, flushed out, ran up to the highs. There's a shit signal here, but then it formed this tight base. If you're a breakout trader, VCB trader, and didn't take that, I don't know what's going on. This is just so textbook, and these things just print money time and time again. And 70% of these setups like this, I reckon, win. Maybe not that, but yeah, probably that. In a good market, and my strategy here is a stop below this thing initially. But I'm not cutting this. It's just like the zero trade and some of these other big winners I'm in and I've been having, is that I'm just letting this run. I've got to stop at break even now, and I don't give a shit. This can chop about and do anything it's want. As long as I don't get stopped out at break even, I'm going to stick in this. I'm going to try and ride this up to 50, 60, 70 bucks, okay? And just be super patient. It's just, I feel that all the money I've made is just in my winners that I let run, I love scalping, getting in and out. You feel like a real trader and all that sort of shit. It's fun, but at the end of the day, the biggest money is just in sitting with the best names as they trend up like this, okay? It is really not that simple. It's just not many people have the patience for it. Talking about patience, SSG, okay? I had 5 people message me about this. I haven't written back to anyone yet. I apologize, but I will later maybe. But, this is a huge base. Zero shits if this is doing what stocks do and chopping about. Just don't care. This is the stock market. This is what stocks do. So nothing's changed for me. Okay, big base, and it's sustained above its old resistance turn support, and I'll just see how that plays out in the next few months, right? Now, the shit trade in FMG. I thought I was being smart. Bang. What a stupid decision. So in here, out here, quick short loss. Okay. Compare the car setup to the FMG setup. This is shit, right? All the moving averages down, and I was, every now and then, every 3 or 4 months, I try and be smart like this. I usually always get spanked, all right? If all I ever did was trade these, and that's what I should do, my account would be going even quicker, right? But every now and then, I try and be smart and do this shit, and I usually get spanked, right? And so, I've been doing this for over 20 years, and I still do dumb things like that and think I'm being smart, it's just a good kick up the arse every now and then. I'd love to say I'm never going to take another trade like that in my life, but I'd say in 3 or 4 months I'll probably have a mind fart and do it, right? But hopefully not. So that's that. Now the zero trade. For those that have been listening for years, this was the entry back here, right? In 2023 in May. I was talking about back here how it flushed below these lows, and then it got above the moving average, and it was breaking up, and it was a good company, and its revenue was growing, and all that sort of stuff. And then it's nearly doubled since for those patient enough to sit with it. Now, this is my whole point, is about letting winners run. It would have been easy to sell this sucker when it broke out just up here somewhere, hey, 111 bucks. But I just sitting on my ass doing nothing, and it's gone from this initial bit, and it gave a lot back, and then it's up, okay? And so I just really think this is the holy grail. It's just letting the winners run. When you catch some of these great assets, just why would you want to sell them until they show real signs of needing to be sold? So anyway, that's that. And just talking about amazing moves, Shopify, the setup I was talking about last week, that are breaking out of this channel. Holy shit, guys! Shit. I don't know what to say other than this is just a great market, and if you just concentrate on the expensive names, the real companies that are printing cash and have growing revenue and real products, I'm really trying to stay clear of the companies that are losing money and just have really, really, really bad businesses, or there's no businesses. Like, I know cafes that are better businesses than a lot of the stocks on the ASX. Yet people, look at a chart and think they see something and, punch 50 grand into some little speck that doesn't even have a business, and then wonder why they lose money when the thing, doesn't go well. And it's just my hard-earned money. I want to put it at risk in real companies breaking out, in real companies that are growing fast with huge revenue growth, breaking out of tight bases. That's where I want my money. Okay, let's just crap on, because I have just contradicted myself in some ways, but I do keep these trades a bit smaller. 8am, huge. This was this setup back here, and it's now tight in here. I'm actually in this tight stop here below here, so we'll see how that plays out. I do like the fundamentals of AKM, by the way, when I talk about it. Like, I do know a bit about it. I don't know that much, but I've done a shitload of reading on it, in the situation in northern China and blah blah blah. But this is a good setup. Let's see how this plays out over the next week or so. We'll talk about it next week. I'm looking at a bunch of Davis box setups, and I'm just going to quickly just do the scan. Let's just do it. Davis, I've just been doing this scan lately, but let's just scan my watch list on Breakout Wednesday watch list. There are a lot, right? Let's just go about this one first. So SiteMinder, okay, software company, blue sky, tightening. Love it to tighten a bit more. Yeah, we've had some these distribution days with reducing on-balance volume, but I don't as I talked about before, I'm skeptical about the traditional way people read volume. So anyway, I'm looking at this tighten up, and so far so good. There's a chance that this is going to break this support and come down and give us another right hand side, which would be pretty good if it did that. But that's one I'm watching. Another one is CDA. Okay, I'm still watching this guy. It might break down, but it's just tightening, and just watching that tighten away, for potential entry on a break. What another one I'm looking at? Rule, RUL. So RUL is also in the Davis box. Let's just get it up. All right. Another software stock that's just tight in here. That's just getting close to perfect. All right. So, this is where I want my money, right? These stocks in long-term uptrends that are tightening. Okay, this company's obviously doing something right. I don't really need to read too much about it because it's just in this massive uptrend, okay? And it's just tightening. You're giving a good risk reward on that entry. That's another one. What's another one to crap on about? Wagner Group. Ask Craig about Wagner Group. He loves it. Always talking about how tightly held it is, and you got to hand it to him. Like, he knows his shit when it comes to stocks. And I remember Craig posted this on the forum when it was in their space. I kind of just glanced over the post. I looked at it and thought that looked great, but then I didn't really action it. And that's just the classic old look at something, think it's great, but then not action it. I mean, it's just there's a mental block going on. If something looks great and you don't action it, it's just what's the point? You know what I mean? And so I regret that. But now we're forming a little bit of a power play here. This is, as Craig will mention, and you can read on the forum yourself, but really, really tightly held family company, I believe, that's run really well by the founding owners, I think, and so that's tight. I mean, this isn't. I would love that to give me 20 days in there, but we'll see what happens. That came up in the Davis too. What else was there? That's the main stuff on the ASX. Just on the US market, right? Like, so many of these stocks have run, like, the shops and everything. They've just run so much. There aren't that many of these big leading names that are still setting up, right? But there are. Let me just go into here. A lot of these insurance brokers, which is really boring, are just setting up here. Look at this. This is like the biggest scam ever, isn't it? These insurance broken stocks. Holy shit! I mean, this thing's been in an uptrend since GFC. I mean, holy crap! I want to die and come back and then freaking own an insurance broking company. But this is that thing's in a long-term uptrend. It will keep going. I'm not going to trade it. It's too slow for me. But like AON on the NISI, another insurance broker. These guys obviously, make money. Hey. And so that's another one. And then there was a few other interesting things like, what was another? I'm kind of looking at GMG. It's had a bit of negative press lately, hasn't it? But it doesn't seem to give a shit. And so looking at OKL a bit. Just that's in Davis box right now, but it needs to base for a lot longer. And then I'm looking. There's another one I was looking at, Zim on the NISI. This the marine transport stock. It's like it's similar to car, right? Like this big base here, and this pattern does repeat, like this flush out here. It's really good sign, right? You get this little flush out here just to piss off all these people that had stops. Run straight up. Okay, takes out these old highs, but this is a shit setup, just like car was. Like have a look at just those getting in. Just have a look at this same shit, right? Fake out, bang. All right, go back to Zim. Fake out, bang, right? And now we're tightening. And so, as I said with car, it's just a license to print money in the long run statistically, and this Zim's giving me the same thing. So, I would be a moron not to take it, because it might be a losing trade, but if I take the next 100 ones like this, I'm going to make a lot of money. All right, I'm going to piss off, guys. It's a bit late. I'm going to try and hit the hay. Catch up, mate.